Hey, if you don't like America, then you can get out. I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Hey, did you guys see this? Cy just texted me and reminded me, but somebody on Instagram sent me this stat. Did you guys see the viral video that's about Ravens Vikings? No. Did you guys see this really bizarre stat?
What is
Ben,
it?
did you see this?
Maybe.
The Ravens and the Vikings. Somebody fact checked this, but the video had a whole bunch of views, so my guess is somebody else has already fact checked this. The Ravens and the Vikings have played 7 times in their existence.
Yeah.
The 3 times the Vikings have won the game, they've gone to the NFC title game.
Oh, I have heard this. Yeah.
How weird is that?
The 4 times they've lost,
the
coach gets fired that year.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
So the video basically is this game on Sunday is gigantic because the Vikings are either going to the NFC title game or KOC is getting canned.
I can tell you one of those things for sure is not going to happen.
That's a crazy stat, though. It's all or nothing. Yeah. NFC title game or firing. It's like Tice, Frazier, Zimmer. Who am I forgetting? Childress, maybe? I don't know. Something like that, yeah.
I don't remember. In 2010, did we play the Ravens? I don't remember.
You played them in the Vikings home wins. You played them in 2009 and 2017 at home.
It must have been in year 1 as well.
So right, so 09. So 09 we win and we go to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, so 2000, 09, and 17 we must have played the Ravens and won all 3. Anyway, strange stats. So, good luck, KOC. Sweat it out on Sunday, buddy.
No, sorry. They played him. They lost to him in 98. They played him in 02. Didn't they go in 01? So we must have won. They won in 02.
Yeah, I wasn't even here.
They won in...
Nordo's shaking his head. Because Nordo was giving me a thumbs up. Now he's shaking his head to you. So, hey, Nordo, come in here and explain this to see if we're right or wrong or not. Or if we're botching this. Nordo's got it. He was giving me the thumbs up. So whatever.
He does such a good job on the post-game show, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
He really does so
He does, because he knows.
He and Ron both.
So what's the deal? Are we mostly right?
Yeah, it's mostly right. So they won in 98. They go to the title game. Mm-hmm. And then I think they played it's at the end of the 01 or 02 season when Denny gets fired.
02, yeah.
Is it 02?
Yeah.
So you have it in front of you.
Yeah,
there.
right
so
here.
09 they win and they go to the title game.
They won in 98. They lost in 02 when he got canned.
I think Denny had been fired maybe earlier that year. Does that sound right? That he was in season?
I think you're right. And then in 05 they lost. And that must have been
Tice got canned, yeah.
Tice.
They won in 09, went to the NFC Championship
Thanks,
game.
Ben.
Sorry about that.
They lost in 2013. That had to have been Leslie.
Leslie goes bye-bye.
They won in 2017 NFC Championship game, and then they lost in 2021.
And Zimmer gets fired.
By 3 points.
All right,
34-30.
Yeah, the OT game.
Yeah, hideous. You know a lot, Nord.
So there it is. So yeah, your recall is fantastic.
Well, thanks for having me.
You do a good job, Nordo.
Great explanation.
Thanks for the drop-in.
Hawk is
on our buses, man, there's most of the people on our buses are listening to you guys on the post-game show. You do a good job, man.
No, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
No, we try to have fun with it. Wins, very helpful as it pertains to FanLine. So.
Okay, but now that you've been doing this full time in the last couple of years, don't you agree though that losses are more fun from a fan line perspective?
That is true.
A little easier to do a win because there's less stress, there's less people pissed, but the losses are more entertaining programs because everybody's pissed about everything.
It is, and then depending upon what time of day the game is, the alcohol-infused nature of some of the talkbacks and things.
Very good point.
Some bus calls in?
That varies greatly. Yeah, he calls in from the garage. He tries to mask his voice, but we've all been to gentlemen's clubs. We know exactly what that voice sounds like.
Everybody, come on.
It says his name's Dave Ehrlich.
Destiny's on stage now. FanLine is cool. The only frustrating thing can be just the unreasonable ebb and flow of it. After the Chargers game, it's fire everybody. After the Kitties game, it's we got JJ. We got JJ. When a week before you're talking about how he'd get killed behind that O-line. And then we saw it, just the ebb and flow of it. It's kind of fun.
Yep.
And I can just throw it to Ron, and Ron starts quoting Chris Tucker movies and
saying that some offense is vanilla.
He does bring up Chris Tucker movies a lot.
Yeah.
He's got a very, very small catalog of films I think it's basically it's The Wire, it's Rush Hour 2, and Any Given Sunday. And that's about it. That's Ron, and that's why we love him.
Any Given Sunday too. You're right. He brings up a lot too. He does. You're right.
That movie's terrible.
Willie Beeman for sure.
What do you guys got today?
We got Ben Lieber.
Yeah.
So, He gives you all his A topic takes, and then he gives us his B plus takes.
We'll take it.
And so we're looking forward to that.
A minus.
Yeah. No, he always brings it. We have Nestor Aparicio.
Excuse me?
Who? Just some guy on the Ravens. And then we got Charge at 11.
What a name. What does he do for the Ravens?
Wow.
He's a long-time radio news guy. We met him when we used to do the Combine every year, and he was on the concourse at Lucas Oil. And you could hear him 30 feet before you got to the door to enter the stadium.
What's his name?
Nestor Aparicio.
That sounds like one of those coffee machines that Clooney sells.
Yeah, well said. Yeah.
You met him at you said you met him at the Combines?
We met him at the Combine in 2014-ish.
Is it weird to talk to him without dollar bills in your hand?
Yeah. Without Bob Hagan standing next to you?
Pictures of Coors, popcorn shrimp, and Muss's voice at the Flamingo. Check it out.
Oh, man.
I love it.
All right, thanks, gentlemen.
You're the best.
Yeah.
All right.
See you, no.
Listen to this real quick, guys. I know we're doing fan five. I think you Builders Remodelers at buildersremodelers.com, but I'm inferring from the headline that Kirk Cousins is going to get his full $90 million from Atlanta because he didn't get traded, and I don't think they're going to cut him. He's going to get $90 million for being the backup quarterback.
This has got to be a 30 for 30 at some point, right? Yeah. Just what the Falcons did the last 12 months and why they did it. Because almost none of it makes sense. No. And it didn't work. So if it had worked, they could have been like, let us tell you exactly why we did this.
Yeah, here's what we were
and
gonna
here's
do.
the trophy.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that it blew up and everybody was screaming, why are you drafting Penix? Or why are you not trading Kirk? Or why are you not like there's so many whys and I don't understand the answers to any of them. As Tommy would say, good Q, where is the A?
It's one of the most shocking draft moments I've ever seen, and I've watched it for almost 30 years.
And as we all have learned, no one was more shocked than Kirk Cousins.
He found out on his way to what you guys do.
That really is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
For a guy, I mean,
he wouldn't have signed, right? It's just that simple.
He would have stayed here,
right? If you sign with the Falcons, hey, we're going to give you a ton of money, but we are absolutely drafting a kid that's going to. The second you fall off, whether it's this year or next year, he's taken over. As Kirk said, he would have let the Vikings do that if that was the plan. Yeah. He wouldn't have left. He would have let him draft McCarthy and pass the baton in a year or so.
See, now that we're at the place that we're at, what scenario does it work out for the Falcons? Like, in what scenario a couple years down the road where we are now, where you're like, man, that was actually really brilliant.
Right.
Because if Penix is awesome, it was still a waste of money.
It's still a waste of money.
Yep. Yeah. The only way it would have worked in hindsight is if Kirk was just on fire. That team was as loaded as they thought it was, and they won a title. They didn't. So to your point, there's no turning back now. It just didn't work.
That's the only scenario where you feel like, okay, they invested in a guy that got them a Super Bowl, but it was a multi-year deal. So and then Penix was the oldest quarterback in the draft at the time.
Right.
Like, I think he was 24 when they drafted him.
Yes.
So you're going to sit him now for 2-3 years, and he's 26, 27 years old as a first-time starting quarterback? Like, I don't even really know. I mean,
could it be, Ben, to answer your question, and of course I hope this doesn't happen, but if Penix get hurt and Kirk comes in and takes him to the Super Bowl, is that the only way it pays off?
Now.
Yeah.
Even then, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the only way for it to be any kind of...
Yeah, it's like you're really trying to thread this really, really tight needle. It's like, it just seemed like bad business the second that they drafted Penix.
It seems
given
like
the contract they gave Kirk.
It seems like somebody in the front office loved it and somebody who had more power in the front office hated it, or vice versa.
Right, and then take it a step further, you put him on an offense that's the complete opposite of what he's good at.
Yes, correct.
You know, it's like you put him in shotgun and sometimes pistol. Like, what?
I
like, that's not even what he's good at.
I have not seen Penix play except for the one Vikings game, right?
Yeah.
So far this year, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, an 88 passer rating. That's obviously not great.
Has he played all the games?
He's played
all of them but one. Kirko played him was horrible.
Yep. Yeah. And his completion percentage is 60.8.
Yeah.
So not great. Anyway, so not terrible numbers, but again, not light up the world numbers either.
Yeah. Can I bring up something that is kind of a left turn, but it's still in sports?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So I was talking about this the other day with somebody about like why football fans sort of live and die, and we ride this tidal wave of like emotion, right? It's like your team wins a game and it's like, oh my gosh, you start thinking about all the what ifs, and like we are a great team, and you lose a game and you're like the lowest of lows, especially if you win 2 or you lose 2 or you go on these little streaks, right? And the obvious answer is like, well, we only got 17 of these things, so it's like every game carries so much weight. So I've never actually done the math. Now, Corey, you probably have. But 1/17 of the season is about 6%. So every week, about 6% of your season's gone, right? So if you take that to other sports, so like baseball is what, 162?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's like, in baseball, that's 9.72. That's the math, right? 9.72 games. So the Vikings losing or winning a game is like going on a 9 to 10 game winning streak
That's
or losing
fascinating.
streak in baseball.
That's really something.
So think about the emotions of that. Now, so the Timberwolves, what do they play? 82 games?
82.
So 82 games times
Hawk would say
6%. That's almost 5 games. So think about your emotions if the Timberwolves lose 5 games in a row or win 5 games in a row.
Wow, dude.
It's completely different. And then you take that and you're like, okay, well, they've lost 2 games in a row. And, let's say the Vikings lose, let's say the Vikings, we win against Detroit, we beat the Ravens. That's like a 10-game winning streak for the Wolves.
So good,
That's a good point.
Yeah,
And
that's
let's
brilliant,
stack
Ben.
your theory, because I love that theory. Let's stack it, especially with a young quarterback. If Anthony Edwards and the Wolves lose 5 games in a row, to your point, right, the 6% or so, but they're in, let's say, in 4 out of 5 of them, and Ant's really good, but they just keep getting like just edged at the end. And you're like, whatever, not the end of the world. In football, if your young quarterback looks like he can't play, it doesn't just feel like you lost a game. It doesn't just feel like you lost 9 straight games in baseball. It feels like the next 5 years are going to be nothing but losses. So it's not just you get to see battles back and forth over 5 NBA games. He sucked for 4 quarters, which means we're going to suck for the rest of our life. Like, it feels so much worse when you're young quarterback. Like, if Mahomes has a bad game, it's like, whatever, he's going to kill it next week. Young quarterbacks definitely make it feel like, man, there's just no hope.
Right.
Yep.
And then you add the math you just threw on, and you're like, oh my God, that's a good point.
But it sort of justifies and verifies, like, I think why, if you're a football fan, both college and pro, why it hurts so bad sometimes when you lose, and why it feels so good and euphoric when you win, because you think about the gravity and the weight of every single week, and you've got 6 days to prepare. You talk yourself up, you talk yourself down, whatever. And it's like, man, you put that in context. If the Wolves won 10 games in a row,
you'd be super pumped.
You'd be so pumped. You're like, punch our tickets to the championships.
Well said,
man.
Well said. Well said, Ben. Tom Pelissero, next Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Hey, Power Trip Morning Show, here we go. About to bring in our very good friend, Tom Pelissero. Thanks to our friends at Bell Bank. Now, each week you can nominate a charity for their Pay It Forward program by going to KFAN.com and put in the keyword Bell. Bunch of different keywords, but just trust me, do that. And then nominate your charity. This week, Karen Lloyd nominated Can Do Canines. Can Do Canines at candocanines.org. They transform people's lives by creating mutually beneficial partnerships with specially trained dogs. They breed, they raise, they train, and they place 6 types of assistance dogs. Hearing assistant dogs, mobility assist dogs, seizure assist dogs, diabetes assist dogs, autism assist dogs, and facility dogs. Brilliant work. Everybody benefits. Thank you, Can Do Canines. Thank you, Karen Lloyd. $1,000 to Can Do Canines. Canines, I don't know, I'm having such a hard time with that. Thanks to our friends at Bell Bank. Thank you, Bell Bank. Not only for that, but for bringing us our very good friend, Tom Pelissero. Good morning, Tom. That's what I was afraid of. We can't hear him. That's what I was afraid of. Zach's not here.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom. I best what he was going to say is, Hawk, you look real good today. Thanks, Tom. That's real sweet of you, man.
You look real good today.
Thank you.
You look real good today.
Well, does Tom have an accent I'm unaware of, Ben?
No.
Okay,
there's a song from like a commercial where there's like this kid's riding his bike, and it's I think it's Apple.
That was a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah. It's like a really catchy song. It's like I think it's like a Latino band or something like that.
If we can't figure that out, would you just have him call the hotline, please, Nick, back there, if you wouldn't mind? Just have him call the hotline. We'll do it without looking at his pretty face today. We got to see him for 5 seconds, but now we'll just do it on the phone if we have to. So Tom Pelissero will join us momentarily. I'm going to go ahead and turn my mic off because apparently I can't talk anymore. Too much singing with Prince last night.
Oh, yeah?
Man.
All the hits?
Man.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It's so good.
I was thinking about going to that, but then we had state volleyball.
How did it go?
How'd it go?
Congratulations to Benilde. They won last night. 3 straight sets.
They did win.
On to Friday. They play at 11 o'clock. So, yeah, it was great. What a weird environment, though. I mean, I got to admit, that arena being split up into 2 courts, giant arena, it's like there's people there, but you know how it is. It's like when there's people there, but you're in like, 18,000 seat stadium or whatever it is. It's like, okay, are there people here?
Right.
Like
feels a little empty.
Felt very cavernous.
Sure. But they won.
That's
awesome.
They won. Yes. Feeling pretty good about ourselves, but stay focused. Stay focused. Yeah.
Man. That's a fun sport right there.
I love it.
I
freaking love it.
Yeah.
I would say that going back to high school, if we offered volleyball during basketball season, I probably would have tried volleyball over basketball. I like basketball, don't love basketball, but I love playing volleyball. That's fun.
Interesting. Not even sand. Not even beach, just full on hard court volleyball.
I look for we had co-ed volleyball in a high school, just like one time a week for like a series of a couple weeks. I look forward to that night of playing volleyball more than I did probably any basketball game I played in.
And that's too bad because I would have killed to be on the basketball team.
Yeah.
But I sucked.
Yeah, but if you played at Vermilion, you could have made you would have been a starter on a basketball team.
I played at Chisago and I couldn't make the starting lineup. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, we were okay,
terrible.
but we were not. No.
But I also couldn't dribble left-handed. Would that have helped in Vermilion?
Man.
Yes, they needed somebody like that.
It didn't matter.
Pretty good with the right. Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, we didn't know scout reports, so we would not have figured that out until like the second half. We're like, you guys notice he's never dribbled with his left hand?
Yeah. Can't go left.
And he's winking at everybody in the stands.
And he's the whitest kid I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, literally hadn't been outside in a month.
No.
Yeah.
Blakemore's trying to figure it out.
He passed away.
So just guess what Tom would have said. Hey,
can we ask Tom? We'll ask you.
Tom, thanks for joining, by the way. Thanks to Bell Bank for Tom Pelissero. Vikings Ravens on Sunday. Your thoughts, Tom?
I think it's thanks for having me. Thanks to Bell Bank. I think it's going to be a tough environment. Lamar Jackson is 24-3 against the NFC.
Hang on, let's see if he does a better job.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tom.
That was a bad Tom Pelissero impression.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, Tom.
Who knew Zach was the brains of the operation?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Zach goes on vacation and the whole thing falls apart, man. It happens.
He does it on purpose, though. I think that's job security right there. If we can't do it without him, we can't do it without him. You know what I mean?
Man.
Well, so while we were trying to connect with you, Tom, we had Sauce try to pretend to be you, and it didn't go well. So let me ask you the same question.
Sorry, did he?
Vikings Ravens on Sunday. Your thoughts?
I think it's a fascinating matchup. You got a Ravens team that's kind of clawing their way back into this thing. Finally with Lamar back, Roquan Smith. I mean, I know what their record was out of the gate, but all the injuries, it wasn't just Lamar. I mean, the defense was gutted. They had a lot of different things going on. They look like a really tough team, and they're going up against a Vikings team that, I mean, I don't even think it's close. That was by far their best game of the season last week in Detroit. I was there. I thought that the game plan that Flo had to really bring just all those interior blitzes, force Jared Goff to move in the pocket, not let him be able to see, over the middle. It clearly impacted that Lions offense beyond what we normally see, and then offensively, nobody could completely know what was going to happen with J.J. McCarthy, but he went out and I know he only threw for 140-something yards, but the throws that he did make were big-time stuff. It was impressive. So, hopefully the Vikings, Aaron Jones can go this week. I bumped into him when he was walking out of the x-ray room. He said he's basically had the same injury on the other side before. It's a little AC joint sprain. He's confident he's going to be able to go. He looked the best that he's looked this season. I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup between a couple of teams that really need this game.
Well, that's the thing I was going to ask you is just the health of Aaron Jones. And then, you kind of contrast that with the new look Ravens. I mean, because the last 3 games, they're very, very good against the run. The first few games before that, to start the season, not very good. Sauce's guy, Kyle Hamilton's now being used in the box and at the line of scrimmage. That's a whole different look. Their rookie safety Starks is now playing more of a true safety position. Like, where do you see the who wins that battle versus us on the ground with an Aaron Jones out there? Because obviously we look different, we feel different with him out there versus this new look Ravens defense. What's going to give there?
Well, in terms of the health on Aaron Jones, we'll just see. Does he get a full boat? That was the plan going into the game. He looked great. He had 90-something yards from scrimmage in the first half before he got hurt. Seems like he and the team is confident he's going to be able to go, but, does Jordan Mason get a little bit more work? That's obviously going to be the question. And the Ravens have struggled defensively the entire season, but getting Roquan back, Kyle Hamilton back, those things are a really big deal. I think that it's certainly fair to say that the formula for the Vikings needs to involve not having JJ drop back and throw the ball 40 times a game. I don't think that Kevin O'Connell wants to play that style of football. It's very much as it can be cliched, Ben. It's like, the complementary football of just being able to be really good on defense, be able to control the game on the ground, and then just make enough throws. That's kind of what they did last year with Sam Darnold. The approach for Kevin on a week in, week out basis was just get him easy completions to get him in a rhythm, and then maybe 5 times a game have him make what you would call a tough throw. And last week when JJ was asked to do that, he absolutely delivered. But there's no question running the football effectively is going to be a big part of the formula moving forward.
Hey, Tom, we saw on Tuesday the NFL trade deadline came and went, and we saw the Jets they traded their 2 best players for 3 first-round picks. Are the people around the league shocked that they didn't have a full-on fire sale?
No, I mean, this is, it's not a fire sale in terms of just, trading guys for anything, but certainly when you trade Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, I mean, that's as much of a blow it up as you're going to see in the modern NFL. I was not surprised by Quinnen Williams. That was in the works for quite some time. There were several teams in the mix. It was just a matter of were they going to be able to get enough for Quinnen Williams to justify making the trade. He really wanted a fresh start. He'd been there through a lot of different regimes and a lot of losses. He felt like the time was right, but they weren't just going to, offload him just for 1 first-round pick. The shocker, and I don't get shocked. I make it my business to not get shocked much, but the Sauce Gardner trade was a shock because that is, he is by every advanced metric one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL because they just paid him on a big contract extension in July. That's not the profile of a guy that you normally trade away. But the Colts got really aggressive. It was, Monday night into Tuesday morning. They stepped up and ultimately give 2 first-round picks, as well as A.D. Mitchell, who they were ready to move on from, the wide receiver. But for the Jets to make that type of move, this is a true reset for the organization. The reason they were able to trade Sauce was his contract, even though he got, this monster deal, there was only $13 million in the signing bonus. And when we talk about cap hits and why teams can't move on from players they paid, it's because your signing bonus, I'll put this in the simplest terms possible, it's prorated for cap purposes. So if you got a $13 million signing bonus, $10 million of that is pushed into the future. But that's all. It's not like you got a $50 million bonus and then you got 40 in the future that all slams your cap next year. This was actually very movable because now the Colts pick up that contract and pay a $20 million option bonus next year. So the cash and cap savings, in addition to all the picks by moving on from these players, makes a big difference for the Jets. I also found it fascinating that they actually wanted, in the Cowboys deal, they got a 2nd-round pick in 2026 and a 1st in 2027. Generally speaking, GMs view future picks as slightly less valuable than immediate picks. But the Cowboys wanted the 3rd first-round pick in 2027, and that's for a couple of reasons. One, that's generally regarded as a better draft Two, it's generally regarded as a better quarterback draft. And so if you're talking about getting the quarterback, having all that ammunition out into 2027, it really allows them now to kind of execute a 3-year plan for getting this team where it needs to be.
All right, Tom Pelissero, thanks to Bell Bank. So the question then is about the Vikings in the trade. Were you surprised that nothing was done? Like whether they, I think after the Lions win, certainly we were probably more buyers at the trade deadline, but were you surprised that they didn't do anything? And did you hear of maybe something in the works that just sort of fell through?
Not really, no, honestly. I mean, I was tracking all of it, and the Vikings were unusually quiet, but I think that's, partly because they made the trades that they made in the offseason and gave up picks for the likes of Jordan Mason, that they've committed a lot of money. They've got a lot of cash into this roster, and that there's not, a really obvious hole that you could have upgraded on the team. I mean, sure, you'd like to get, maybe another corner, but corners are at a premium. Look no further than the Sauce Gardner trade where the Colts were surveying who was available, for the normal types of trades you see, like 3rd and 4th round picks. They didn't think any of those guys were really an upgrade. They trade 2 ones for Sauce. The prices just weren't at a place where it made sense for the Vikings to do something. I know they poked around on a variety of different things, but there was never momentum really to, from my understanding, to get something done. The question, and we talked about it last week, was whether they would, bring in a backup quarterback or somebody else. And J.J. McCarthy's performance, I don't think is, the driving reason they didn't, but certainly it helped. If J.J. went out there and didn't play well, maybe you have a little bit more urgency to, hey, we might need to get a veteran in the room to help them. They're rolling now they got John Wolford there, but they're rolling with JJ and Brosmer. There was never, I know that, Kirk would have loved to come back, even if it were in a backup role, but the Falcons had never really shown the urgency to deal him in terms of having a reasonable number on the pick as well as the cash. And so, the Vikings stood pat, which is not something that happens very often. It's certainly not for a lack of Kwesi exploring different things. It just, nothing was really dialed up. It didn't feel like they had a really pressing need, and nothing, from my understanding, really came even close to fruition.
The main need, as you just said, the Vikings have is possibly a quarterback. One of those is scheduled to visit. That is Asante Samuel Jr. He is scheduled to visit here tomorrow. Is that maybe one of the reasons they held back on finding somebody to trade?
Well, the Asante Samuel Jr., the reason that a player like that has like a 5 or 16 tour set up is because of medical. He needs to go in and get physicals in different places without getting too deep into the weeds on the nature of the injury. It is something very serious and very scary that he's coming back from, and he had a surgery, and this is not an injury that a lot of doctors thought surgery was going to be able to fully fix. And so it's not just a matter of his doctors clearing him, it's a team medical staff clearing him. And when you're talking about a neck issue, a spine issue, those are really sensitive types of topics. It makes sense, though. He's a really talented player. He would have been probably the corner to get paid along with, the guys like Carlton Davis in this past free agency class if he were healthy. The fact that it's November and we're talking about him taking a medical tour just shows you how significant this is. It doesn't mean that the Vikings or someone else won't sign him. I would just say, this is not him coming in and meeting the coaching staff and deciding where to go. This is these teams wanting to put him through a battery of tests and make their own determinations. Every medical staff has 32 team doctors with 32 degrees of risk tolerance. Everybody's going to make their own judgment on this because it is something pretty significant.
Ben, you got another one for you to go?
No, I guess maybe from an X and O standpoint, or just like if I guess I'll ask you, if I'm not going to say who's going to win, but if the Vikings were to win this weekend, which it is about split, national media is kind of split on like who's going to win this game for, a variety of reasons. But like, what's the one thing you mentioned the run game? What's maybe the one thing you'd like to see the Vikings do that would help them win this game on Sunday?
Honestly, it's continued growth from J.J. McCarthy. He had a long time to think about coming back and to get himself fully healthy and prepare. I talked to JJ in the locker room last Thursday, and I could tell, he was very juiced up for this game. He told me the story that his infant son had been sick last week, and so JJ was sleeping in a separate room in his old college bed, and so he was, thinking about all those moments that he laid in that bed and was dreaming of having these big opportunities in the NFL. You saw him walk in to the stadium wearing the JJ or the JJ blue collar shirt that Jim Harbaugh gives to all his players. It was back in the state of Michigan. There was an emotional element to it, but it's not a matter of going out and winning one game. It's a matter of stacking those games and improving and getting better over time. And that's what, we need to see, from JJ McCarthy, is just the continued growth. I think one thing in that game that didn't get enough attention, we all saw, the big throw late to Naylor on third down to Kevin O'Connell and trust him. We saw the throw to Jordan Addison that goes right through his hands. The Justin Jefferson touchdown is a run play. If you watch it, and I thought it going live, it's a run play that JJ had practiced during the week. That basically it was, as Justin Jefferson told me, if we get press coverage, then throw that ball. Not every young quarterback is going to pull that ball and throw it in that moment. And JJ did it, and he throws an absolute dime, and Justin Jefferson makes a heck of a catch. Those are rare plays, rare guts, and to put the ball on a dime, he doesn't have to do a ton. He's got to do enough. He did it in that game. Let's see if he can do it against another tough team on Sunday against the Ravens.
One more for you, Tom, and I think I'm the only person that's discussing this, but I find it endlessly fascinating. So, again, thanks to Bell Bank, Tom Pelissero. When you're out clubbing with Roger Goodell, you guys are just hanging out being bros. Does he like 70-yard field goals, or does he hate 70-yard field goals? Do you know what I mean? Does the league think it's good for the league to be able to kick those balls that far?
I mean, I don't think anybody's complaining about just the absolute bombs from the wrong side of the 50 right now. They did change the rules, and I'm not going to say the phrase because you guys will just laugh at it endlessly, but screw it. The kickers are now allowed to rub their balls before the game.
Well done.
And so it makes a difference in terms of preparing those K-balls where they can kick it a much longer distance. That's also why, the 9-1-1s, those run-on field goals, are much tougher because they can't swap it out for the K-ball. The balls are just different now. I'm not gonna be able to get myself out of this one. The balls are different than what they've been kicking in the past, and it's allowed these things to happen. I think it's a great thing for the league. They've wanted to put the foot back in the game, whether that's on kickoffs or now in terms of the field goals and the kickers. That ever since the extra point got moved back several years ago, it became that much harder on them because now all of a sudden extra points weren't a gimme. This now allows the kickers kind of to roar back a little bit and say, hey, we've got another element to the game that we can bring. I think it's great, and I've heard no complaints from Roger or anyone else at the league.
You cut out for a second. What's the deal with the balls?
The kickers are allowed to rub their balls before the game.
That's what I thought you said. I was just
so
checking.
nice. Thank God for the kickers, man. But I'm guessing quarterbacks and linemen aren't allowed to touch them. Am I right?
Just stick that in the button bar. You can use that one forever, Hawk.
All right, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. See you
Thanks,
later, buddy.
brother.
See you, dude.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
There he goes. Thanks to Bell Bank again. And nominate your charity, please. KFAN.com.
He's just questioning his entire existence.
He's like, no, whatever.
Isn't it funny? Like, nobody trusts us, right? Like, he could say that on NFL Network all day about, like, the kickers rub their balls to get the, and he could just not even have to think about it. And then on our show, he's like, oh, God.
No.
I don't even know if I should say this.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the air or not, but I was listening to Ben Gessling on his podcast with his two co-hosts last week, and his one co-host said something, and completely like he burped, Gessling said button bar, and I could hear like in his voice he was embarrassed.
Wow.
It's KFAN infected him.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, Hawk, I know you've seen Arrested Development. It's like, I think it's season 2 where Tobias is saying everything filthy, but he doesn't hear it.
No idea.
And Jason Bateman's character basically says, why don't you buy a tape recorder and just tape yourself all day and listen back to your phrasing.
Yeah, when he joins the Blue Man Group.
Exactly, because he just doesn't hear how every sentence he says is double entendre and absolute filth.
Good.
It's such a great season.
One of my favorite characters on television ever.
Yeah,
Tobias
so good.
Funke.
I'm here to take a stiffy. He says stuff like that. I blew myself. Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good.
going to watch that second season again.
It's the second season of Arrested Development is one of the best seasons in the history of comedy. I like the first season and the third when it starts to fall off, but season 2 is the season.
Yeah,
and
not
so
even close.
Just the idea that they're driving around the truck that that they allow people to deboard a plane.
Yeah,
that's the only car that he's got, so he's got to drive it around, man.
And I love how many little pieces of foreshadowing they have for Buster getting his arm bitten off by the seal. There's I don't know. I'm sure there's a website somewhere that's collected them all. But I think the last time I saw it, I noticed finally for the first. Remember how he's in the Army in season 2, and he keeps calling it Army, like I'm doing Army. Even the fact that he's referencing his arm, saying it like Army is funny. But right before he gets his arm bitten off by a loose seal, of course he's dating or trying to date loose seal all season long.
Right,
he's sitting on a bench, and it says like Army something official, but he's blocking all of the letters except for the ones that say arm off.
Oh, brilliant.
It's like, man, that show thought of everything. How many different ways can we show that he's going to lose his arm? Even earlier in that season, he's at like an arcade with one of those crane games.
Yeah.
The claw, as we like to call it, right? And his arm's going to end up being a claw. And one of the prizes that he gets out of the claw game is a stuffed seal. Like all season long, they show that a seal's going to get him, but you don't know it until later. It's so good.
I've never read all these before. That's fascinating.
All right, keep going, because I'm sure I've missed a ton of them.
Okay, so bus stop sign, you mentioned that.
That's the best. That's right. I think that's right before it happens, too.
Yeah, bruises on Job's face. Let's see. Job gets a bruise on his face that is identical to the one he gave Buster, foreshadowing Buster's own injury. I don't know. Lucille breaks off a human-shaped hand from a sign while driving to the hospital, drawing a parallel to Buster's injury.
Wow.
Buster misreads alarm off as arm off.
I believe at some point, doesn't she say something like there's no handbook for raising a child? I think that's...
I'm sure
I think you are correct.
I think that's maybe a stretch, but that might be a slight nod to the fact that he's about to lose a hand.
George Michael reenacts Luke Skywalker's losing his hand in Star Wars.
Yeah,
a scene
I forgot
Buster
about that
later
one.
parodies by cutting off a mannequin's head with a broom.
So good.
How about when the doctor says he's going to be all right? And they all get excited, and then he goes, well, I wouldn't be this excited getting that news. And he goes, what do you mean? You said he's going to be all right. And he goes, no, he's going to be all right.
Right, he's lost the ability to use his left hand. He lost it.
Who wrote that?
So
I don't know. Who wrote those
that's
shows?
I wouldn't have taken the news this well.
I don't know who wrote it. I know is it
brilliant.
Mitchell Hurwitz, I believe, is the guy that created it. I don't know if he's the writer of all of the episodes, but man, it's just the attention to detail is just outstanding.
It's so good.
And for the 1,000th time, I truly think the country was not ready for that show.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
It was the beginning of the non-laugh track era, and it was too smart for the room, and the country wasn't told when to laugh.
It was so
there was
good.
no laugh track, and they're like, I don't get this bit. This isn't funny. And it's one of the funniest shows of all time.
And then is it the bit when they knew it was canceled?
That's season 3.
Yeah,
they knew they were in big trouble, so they just would have, what's this guy's name? Happy Days guy. I'm blanking on his
Ron Howard.
Yeah, they would have Ron Howard. Well, Henry Winkler's also on that show for sure. But Ron Howard as the narrator just openly begged to tell your friends to watch this show. We're in huge trouble.
Yeah.
Which is a super interesting play to just lean right into the fact that your ratings are not good and you know you're on the brink of getting canceled. We should do that at some point. Whenever our ratings start plummeting,
we should
just hire a narrator.
Now.
Yeah, we should probably. How about when Carl Weathers is in the show? That's also good.
There's so many good cameos.
It's so good, yeah.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus is in season 2, and she's fantastic as the
it's so good.
The fake pregnant blind lawyer bit.
Oh,
that's great.
God, when it's funny and smart.
It's both.
That's like that's the winning combination. I can't even believe it, man. It's so good. Oh, by the way, complete left turn. Well, not really. I'm listening to this book about Always Sunny in Philadelphia right now, and the beginning of it and everything like that. There is a direct correlation, a line from Reno 911 to Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah, and it would take
behind
me all
the
day.
scenes?
Yeah, behind the scenes about the people who created it, how it got created, why it got created, all that stuff. It's and it doesn't surprise me after knowing those two shows so well. But man, I love both those shows too, man.
Yep.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Arrested Development is on Netflix. Where's Always Sunny? The whole
Hulu.
It's on Hulu, yeah, but it was on FX.
FX for it still is, right?
Right,
Still going, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Now it's time for Headlines.
Headlines brought to you by my friends at Wolf River Electric and wolfriverelectric.com. Go solar. Highly, highly recommend you do. I did about a year ago. It's awesome. Get some solar panels put on.
Yeah, man.
Start making some money off the sun.
Make that cash.
How much money do you make off the sun? Are you greater than the sun?
That's a good question.
No.
I'm not greater than the sun, but I'm making some money off the sun.
No, I'm not greater than the sun either.
Greater I mean,
Yep. Half of Generation Z and millennials admit to, quote, lying about their wealth or financial success while dating. I know I've gone over this before, but about 20 years ago, I went on a date and was asked my salary on date number 1. And that was after she asked my religion and political affiliation.
Yeah.
And like I've said on this show a number of times, she seemed to be able to get past the religion one. She seemed to be able to get past the political affiliation. But when I was like, I'm not telling you my salary. That was the one that I think would have been the deal breaker. Paul, your hands up.
Woodhawk.
A billion.
Oh my God,
he knows
yes,
her.
I know who you're talking about. The answer is
%.
yes. I'll tell her whatever she needs to hear. I'll convert.
Yeah.
I'll get more jobs.
Yeah. He'll bring a tax statement.
What do you need? I'll rob a damn bank. If that answers your question.
He'll bring a
man.
tax statement.
But I mean, I assume on dating apps, the whole idea of a lot of people projecting more wealth than they actually have is a thing. But this says only about half admit to actually lying about financial success while dating. That's different than lying on dating apps. If you're actually dating somebody and you lie about what you're making, that's a little bit different, don't you think?
Man, dating apps seem scary.
Yes, sir.
They just do. They just do, man. I
never used them.
Yeah, obviously.
Lucky.
Oh.
A council
I
in
didn't need
Scotland
No,
was
you didn't,
forced.
buddy.
No, you didn't. That's true. Fox News worked.
Yeah.
One of the best bits of all time.
Yeah.
Inside joke. A council in Scotland was forced to edit the recording of a meeting after a member live streamed himself going to the toilet and forgetting to switch off his camera.
Oh, boy, that'd be terrible for me. I get up to a lot of shenanigans on the toilet.
Yeah.
That's reading time for you, I think.
Yeah, really. Yeah, for sure. And you never know what my choice is. You know what I mean?
Nope, nobody does.
They are saying Pizza Hut could soon be up for sale as it continues to struggle to compete. So somebody might just buy them out.
I like Pizza Hut.
Oh, man. I tell you, that was
the
such a
breadsticks
part
are
of my
great.
teenage years. After football games with the entire team, we go to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, the one, there was one by the high school, and then there was one in Excelsior that had like the old school feel to it. They're both now gone.
When
Pizza
you
Hut was
graduated from high school,
outstanding.
did that Pizza Hut go out of business?
Yeah, Lawyer Lambert stopped writing them checks for my tab. Yeah, they all went down. Yeah. Pizza Hut breadsticks, fresh and hot, 10 out of 10.
What about the garlic bread with the cheese on it?
Sure, I'm in. Yeah, oh yeah.
You do love food, which is great because today is National Men Make Dinner Day and National Nacho Day.
Yeah, I had nachos the other day, and I can make dinner. Yeah.
Well, why don't you just make nachos for
I could do that.
whatever her name is?
Well, that's a woman's viewpoint.
It's Kelly.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, thanks, Rose.
Thanks, Rose.
Yeah.
How often do you make dinner?
Probably 3 days a week.
Here we go.
Thanks,
She
Rose.
makes it the other 4, or you guys go
Yeah, or
out
we
to
go
eat?
out, or she'll make it. Yeah.
So you would say it's about 50-50?
Yes, sir.
Wow,
You'll be salivating when you see it.
what a match made in kitchen heaven.
What's your specialty?
Idaho Potato Shack.
Yep, I do that. Yeah.
You just cut
Anything
'em up?
else? Anything else, Rose?
Julianne, is that how you say it?
Yeah. My specialty is probably that I could make probably mac and cheese.
I wish you'd make me a pie.
I'll make you a pie.
I'd
That
like you to
worked
make
for
me
a couple
pie.
of years.
Yeah, worked on Hawk.
Oh, man.
There's an article from Entertainment Weekly back in 2013 specifically about the writer's room at Arrested Development.
And how smart they were?
Yeah, I got to read this.
Hey, can I ask you guys a quick question?
You
I
got
know
about
it's the end
40
of the
seconds,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So that new movie, is it Nuremberg? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is that about?
It's about after effects of World War II and convicting the
trials.
Nazis.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, it'll
Got
be
it.
fascinating. And
Yeah.
well, you can't tell that's him, can you?
No, they
Yeah.
barely show him
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Russell Crowe. Yeah.
Russell Crowe, yeah, that'll be a hell of a thing, man.
All right.
Tomorrow, Derek Shelton, new manager of the Minnesota Twins, will be here about 7:30 or so. So we'll have a good 40, 45 minutes to talk to him, get to know him. And then Play Initials at 8:15 tomorrow with Derek Shelton. So if you're a Twins fan, tune in around 7:30 or so tomorrow morning. Power Trip back 5:30 to 9 tomorrow. 9 to noon is next.
Everybody have a wonderful day.
You too, Abba. I love you. I hope you have a great day. I hope you go out and just enjoy it and make the most of it. All y'all. Bye.